Hi, this is Congressman Randy Nagelbauer, and welcome to the Empowerment Project. The founders of this country intended for America to be a nation of empowerment where people were free to work hard, enjoy the fruits of their labor, as well as a nation where personal responsibility for your own destiny. Each week I sit down with policymakers to discuss ways we can make America less dependent on the federal government. With me today is Marsha Blackburn from the 7th District of Tennessee. She's original co-sponsor of H.R. 391, which would prohibit the Environmental Protection Agency from regulating greenhouse gases under the Clean Air Act. Marsha, thanks for being with us today, and you serve on the Energy and Commerce Committee and have been very involved in a lot of these issues. And as you know, we could be putting a lot of folks to work if we could get some new plants and ways to power America better and bring more factories, and your bill might help us do that.
Indeed it might. We have a problem right now with federal agencies that are just running out of control. It's as if they don't know where to stop, and part of the reason for that is because Congress isn't putting up enough boundaries around them. And my legislation, H.R. 391, would expressly prohibit the EPA from implementing cap and trade under the Clean Air Act and would force that issue back to Congress. And that's a very important step for us to take, to make certain that that legislation comes back to the House. Now, we have about 150 co-sponsors on the bill, and then we have 123 that have signed a discharge petition on this. Those are positive steps because they help us send a message to the EPA that we're watching and that Congress is watching very closely, and that we think it's the wrong step for them to implement this type change and do it under the rulemaking process and not have Congress weigh in on it.
In fact, Congress has not, approved cap and trade, and many folks, including myself, which I am one of the co-sponsors with you, have signed on to your bill, feel like this was an end run by the administration around a bill that and a concept that the United States Congress really hasn't bought into.
Well, you're exactly right. The cap and trade trading scheme and the taxes on carbon are something that would be so detrimental to our country and to jobs growth. People want to see the economy begin to grow again. They want to see jobs grow again, and you will not have that kind of growth if you put a tax on carbon. Now, one of the things that's so interesting about this issue, Randy, is many people have heard, well, CO2 is a poisonous greenhouse gas. Well, as we are talking, I'm emitting CO2. Everybody does. You have to have 200 parts per million of CO2 for plant life to be generated. But what the liberal elites and the environmentalists would like to do is to roll back our carbon emissions. And this would deal with all of our transportation fuels, our jet fuels, our diesels for trucks and farming, gasoline for cars. It would heavily tax electric power generation. What they're wanting to do is roll back all of those carbon emissions, not 10 years, not 15 years, not even 50 years. They want to roll it all the way back to the level of carbon emissions in, get this, 1875. 1875.
Were they even measuring it in 1875?
Well, indeed they were, and what you find out is that is the level of emissions that the environmentalists would like to see. Well, we know what that means. You're not going to be flying in a jet plane. You're not going to be plowing the field with the tractor. You're not going to be shipping those goods by 18-wheel trucks, and you're not going to get in the car and drive where Grandma and Grandpa's here. The kids aren't going to be coming over on Sunday for lunch in the car. And because it would change the way we live and change the way we work. And we believe an all of the above energy policy is necessary for America to meet its current day needs, make plans, and begin transitions in the mid-range, and then in the long term, look for other options. But, you know, it means in order to do that and do it in an orderly process, we have to rein in the EPA.
Marcia, thank you. As I've said, you can't empower a nation that has no power, and if we do not do something about our energy dependency, we will be a powerless nation. And if we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot by letting these environmental groups keep us from producing our natural resources and building a stronger America, it's going to be hard to empower the businesses and the American people to continue to be a very robust economy. I want to thank my special guest today, Marcia Blackburn from the 7th District of Tennessee, for joining us today. To learn more about the Empowerment Project, I encourage you to visit my website at randy.house.gov and click on the Empowerment button. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Randy Nagelbauer, and this has been the Empowerment Project.